here we are again, guys. Welcome back to the ARTFUL Podcast. Here it's Matteo, your host, as usual, never missing an episode. And it's a beautiful day. It's a beautiful moment for humanity, for the whole world. Finally, I don't know when this episode will come out. I think it will be kind of too late, like it will be too far away from when this happened. But I'm so happy, I'm so relieved that Trump lost the campaign against Joe Biden. And it's just because we just cannot be with somebody that has an hateful message that brings hate to the table as the president of the United States. I don't want to talk politics in this podcast. That's not what we're talking about. But it just feels so good that he lost. And finally, I don't think Joe Biden is a great candidate as well. It's gonna be a great president, but at the same time, it's so much better than Trump. There is no even a question about it. It's just because it doesn't bring hate to the table. You cannot be the president of the United States, one of the most influenced country of the world, and have hate as your main message. I don't care if you bring good economy. I don't care if you're good in anything else. It's just I don't think it's a great. It's a good thing to have, and especially as a president. If you're a normal person, if you're just maybe an influencer like in your life, as maybe Trump is, who cares? Like when you tweet something and you're just Trump, you're not the president of the United States. It's something. It's like, okay, nobody cares. Like, you can still influence some people, but at the end of the day, you're just a billionaire. Even if it sounds really funny, but once you become the president of the United States, which is just don't even know how we got there, but once you're the president, you just cannot talk like that to women, to minorities, to everyone that's different from you, to be honest, Mr. President, ex-president, actually. Oh, feels so good to say that. And anyway, let's just jump into the art, as we are here for that. And today we gonna have another studio chat, and I'm having so much fun having those chat with artists. It's so much interesting, and like just exploring all their practices and how they dealing with all the lockdown, even just like normal life. It's so interesting. And I hope you enjoying it as well. And one thing that I really want to mention before we start is that there is quite a few people. I'm really happy with the people that are listening. There are so many people that I don't even know where they come from, to be honest, but it's not a massive number, but it's still more than what I expected people to listen to. It's quite constant as well, but there is little subscription. There is not many people that subscribe to the channel. And as I said before, it's something that really helped the channel to get more people, more artists that I can interview. It just sounds so silly saying it, but if I'm asking to somebody, to an artist to have an interview with me, and I send the link, and everyone's really nice, and everyone answered really well to me. But at the same time, I understand, obviously, if they see that the channel, I'm talking about obviously YouTube, especially if they see that the channel it's a small channel in the end of the day. It's really small, and the subscription, it's not that high. They don't wanna, let's say, waste their time with me. And sometimes artists, they don't even answer to my request, which is understandable. Everyone is free to do whatever they want, and I just wanna make you understand why I want you to subscribe. It's because more people, if the number is bigger, I know more artists are willing to talk to me, and more artists are willing to talk to me, and more awesome interview I can do, and more artists that you can listen to, and it's just a win-win for everyone. So please, before we start, again, subscribe to the channel, share the link with people that you might know that might be interesting to the podcast. So, and something that I'm really enjoying it, doing it, and I'm not gonna stop. So if we grow, it's even better. And anyway, let's jump into the studio chat. And today, artist, she's an amazing artist, Laura. She's great. I think her paintings are such a high level paintings, and it's just so colorful. Has a mix of like pop mixed to illustrative kind of wave of paint that her subject, and it's really, I would put the link in the description, so go check her out and support every single artist that I interview, because they are great and I want them to have something out of it after they spend an hour, 40-50 minutes to talk to me. So please subscribe to the channel, follow the artist, and no further ado, guys, this was Laura Studio Chat. How are you doing today? You okay?
Yeah, I'm alright. I'm a bit nervous, not gonna lie.
Oh.
It's been a long time since I've had to have a conversation about artwork.
Yeah, I know, right? It's literally one of the reasons why I started this, because I was like, it's been months that I didn't talk with any artist, and I was like, you know what, I'm just, and I love podcasts, so I was like, I'm gonna start one on my own, like.
Same. No, I love it. I love that you've done this. It's great, because you unless you're in scenarios where you're actually meant to be talking about your artwork, you kind of forget. And I don't talk about artwork with my husband. He's a scientist, so couldn't be from different worlds.
Completely different.
So I don't want him to bore me with his science, so I feel like it's not really fair for me to talk to him about art, you know. So yeah, it's gonna be nice. Hopefully, I'm just nervous because I always get nervous before things, but I'm already relaxing.
Yeah, that's
coffee
fine.
was maybe like a bad idea. Maybe I just need that energy.
Yeah, for relaxing tea probably was better.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
How are you? Are you good?
Yeah, I'm good actually. Yeah, not too bad. I'm kind of get into the routine of like doing works and thinking only about doing artworks, to be honest, because obviously like lockdown, it's again now in the UK.
Yeah.
And so I'm like try to bring back the routine of doing artworks all the time, which I kind of really enjoy on the first lockdown. Yeah. And
Definitely.
I didn't have any distraction. I didn't have to go anywhere. I didn't have to meet anyone. And I was like, okay, cool. That's just gonna be
Yeah, it's
5
kind of like
lovely months.
a secret guilty pleasure, really, isn't it, for
Yeah.
artists, I think.
You shouldn't be
Like,
allowed to say you loved the
yeah,
lockdown.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're not meant to say that.
Yeah.
When, oh god, it was awful, and it's like all the artists are like, yay.
Yeah, exactly. Literally every single artist I talked about, they were like, yeah, no, I loved it. It was great. um, as usual, I always like I'm not professional. I always start having a conversation, and I don't, I don't start with an actual intro and everything. I always like mix everything up.
Casual. Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, it's lovely to speak with you. Today we go Laura. Is it Laura or Laura?
Ah, you're going Italian.
Yes,
it's Laura.
Laura, cool. Yeah, it's always
Laura,
tricky
but
for
feel
me.
free
It's
to go Laura.
yeah, it's always tricky for me because every single Italian name you in English you say in Italian, like Clara, for example, or something like that. And Laura, it's always like, are you wanting me to pronounce it like? So we have
honestly, I'll answer to anything.
We have.
There's no one else on this phone call, is there? So I'll just whatever you feel comfortable with.
Oh no, yeah, no, it's fine. I always try to respect like the pronunciation of any single name I come across.
Okay.
So if you wanna just introduce yourself first, and so we can get into the podcast question and stuff.
Yeah, of course. So my name is Laura Selevos. I am a British portrait painter, I guess. Originally from Lancashire in the northwest, and I've lived in the south for a few years, and most recently done the most random thing that you're probably not meant to do during lockdown. I've moved to Switzerland, and so I'm brand new here, a few months in, and just outside of Geneva. And I'm mainly a portrait painter, fairly contemporary painter, and work on canvas with emulsion paint and marker pen.
Okay.
So that's
It's so do you actually moved during the lockdown or just before the lockdown?
Literally during. It was just,
God.
you're not meant to do. I know we were just saying about how, artists are like, yay, lockdown. I feel like I'm just getting that portion now because most of lockdown
for you was moving
the move.
Oh God, I can imagine.
It was sort of oddly timed. It's my husband that got the job out here, which is why I just get dragged around basically by him because he has what we like to call real jobs,
Yeah.
And I work from home, so I'll just go wherever. I'm just here for the adventure. And he came out for his interview pretty much. I think we flew back the day before the UK went into the first lockdown, something like that. So we were so lucky to come out here, and we didn't think we were going to hear anything because of what was happening, and then he got the job. So we moved out here while the UK was still in lockdown. We were able to get a flight out, and we were in temporary accommodation for quite some time. So I didn't have a studio, I didn't have my materials, I didn't have anything, and I was going a bit crazy because, like you say, lockdown has just been the perfect time to sit and create and not worry about not seeing friends because you can't. So I was a bit frustrated in the beginning, and I feel like these last few weeks I finally got my studio set back up, and I feel like I'm just immersing myself in the art world again. So it's great to have podcasts like yourself and have conversations about artwork again, because I feel like I've been missing it, and I've been craving this sort of conversation, really.
Yeah, it's literally like, I think it's to be honest, I think it's a little bit more on the selfish part of it, because it's literally for me. This is for me. I want to talk to artists that I see online or I know personally, and I really love the artworks, and I'm like, oh, actually I want to talk to you and see why you do your stuff. And so basically it is for me, and for whatever you want to listen to the conversation.
Well, this is it. If you were doing exhibitions, you'd have these conversations, wouldn't you? You'd be meeting other artists, you'd be chatting about your process, and obviously that can't, or it wasn't happening. I believe. Have you still got an exhibition going?
It stopped because obviously like the lockdown.
Right.
It was in it was kind of was a book bar in Bristol, Paintworks area. So is a restaurant that do exhibition as well. So they have like artworks on the walls. So obviously like they cannot they cannot open at the moment. So they're gonna open back in December. And I guess they're gonna carry on from there. But that's the thing. I'm really tempting to apply for like I don't know, competition or like exhibition, stuff like that. But you don't know, you just don't know. So is it even worth it? Because obviously if you do application you have to pay for it. And if even if you get it and then it end up being an online exhibition, is it actually worth it then having it?
I had this. I lost one because of COVID, but then also because we moved. They very kindly offered to move it to the following year.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not going to be here anymore, so I might have to cancel it, unfortunately. And it's really tricky, but I'm kind of with you a little bit. I think some of these, the one in particular I was doing, has a fantastic footfall. They're great at promoting, but really they're great at the in-person stuff. They really bring people to the events on the weekends, which is fantastic. They hadn't had to focus so much on the online side of things because they'd already got a presence in the real world, if you like.
Yeah.
And so now it's come to this. Unfortunately, they've had to start shifting to online. And I just think it's so hard these days to build a fast online presence.
Yeah.
And I don't think they can really offer like for like in that domain. It's so different. So I opted out. But I know some people are doing that and it's going great. You kind of have to do what you can, don't you?
Yeah. To be honest, I think I'm just gonna take a year off like competition and stuff. I'm just gonna focus on my work and try to sell or get commission. And just because I apply for one of my like a drawing competition in London, and if I get that one, it's great. If I don't, that will be the last one for this year. And just because I've got for example I have an exhibition, it's like a drawing art fair in Paris for the drawing week, and it was it was supposed to happen in March last year, obviously this year, but didn't happen. And it's just been moved to the next year. And I was really excited about it, and obviously I couldn't go, and I was like, oh god damn it. So I don't want to have all this with another competition, with another exhibition. I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna wait for now and then carry on, because it's a really tempting world, like all this competition, all this various things that you can do as an artist, because you can get money out of it. Quite a lot of money actually, and but it's not only that, it's literally like build your profile, build your name into the art world, and it's really tempting, and you want to do that. So it's really hard not applying for those competitions, but obviously you wait. I think this year that's what it is, and you just need to wait. And
I think we all need to put our Christmas trees up and just call it a day, don't we?
Yeah. Really, from now.
Move on.
Okay.
I think the one good thing that has come out of lockdown for me, especially because I didn't have a studio for a while, is, and I'm a bit funny about praising social media. I think everyone is. We all know it's got its dark sides. But I do think recently I feel like it's been a great resource of making connections, like you say, with other artists, finding art styles. So many of my influences today are people who I'm seeing online rather than in galleries. So if it's almost forced us all more into the social media world for now, hopefully for now, then yeah, I've quite enjoyed that side of things, and especially things like I've been doing the Portrait Artist of the Year every Sunday, painting with them, and that's just like, it's such a lovely moment because everyone's kind of painting together all around the world, this one sitter, and things like that I think are quite lovely that have come out of lockdown. So it's not all doom and gloom.
No, for sure. It's obviously like how you see it, stuff, your perspective on stuff. But yeah, you can. Yeah, social media is a great tool if you use it correctly and if you use it for the right things. And
exactly.
Yeah, if you don't, obviously nothing good gonna come out of it.
No.
But let's talk about your practice, because it's really interesting. Obviously, I just don't see the same kind of, like, the stuff that you do. I just don't see it around. It's kind of unique, and I think it was really people used to do that a lot before, but now it's kind of lost. It's more like I'm talking about the mixing the painting with the words, with the like sentence, with the with lovely like and your handwriting, I guess.
Yeah.
It just flows. It looks. I'm looking at it right now, and it just looks bright, to be honest. And it is a great, colorful paintings that you do. And I'm just curious. How do you approach with your canvas, and how do you start the painting? Because I think it's really important how you do it.
Yeah. Well, I kind of accidentally fell into it, if I can go back a little bit to literally where it sort of started. I mean, I went down the usual route of doing art at school, and then I did a foundation year and did it at university. And I came out of university having done video work and installation pieces. Like, couldn't be more different, because I found I got sucked into the tutor pleasing, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And I kind of left it not very satisfied, if I'm honest. And I've always painted since being a child, always loved it, and it took me a while to start painting again, because I didn't really paint through university and hadn't realised I'd missed it. Left university, got a normal job, moved into my grandma's old flat and had to renovate it because it was in quite a state. And it was during that time when I was literally ripping up carpets, stripping wallpaper, doing all the usual things you would do renovating a flat, that I found myself surrounded by big tubs of household paint, emulsion paint, wallpaper samples, tools, I guess.
Yeah.
And yeah, it kind of became, the very first thing I did, or I think I did, was a portrait on wallpaper with the most horrific colours that we'd got knocking about. I mean, these colours had probably gone mouldy. I don't know. They'd been there for so long. They just were not nice. But it was like greens and browns. I don't know why. But yeah, it was of my grandma on some floral wallpaper. And it kind of started from there. And I guess my process, in a weird way, is almost still like that. I hate working on white canvases. I always have to base them in a bright colour. I guess a bit like the floral wallpaper I worked on top of. And I apply a grid to the canvas to get my sketch done initially in pencil. And I try and keep that as accurate, I guess, as possible to the features. Especially when you're doing something that the likeness kind of needs to be there, then I need
as a portrait
initially to be pretty good, pretty recognisable. If it's not at that point, then it's kind of going to go downhill from there. And then I love playing with paint. I think that's my favourite thing to do in my job. I'm always absolutely covered in it at the end of the day. I get constantly in trouble from my husband for wearing his clothes when I'm painting. He just knows that's the end of them. And I don't know why I do. I've got loads of painting clothes. His clothes are comfier. So I do. I just play with paint. And so I found that if I took this initial pencil sketch and sketched over it in a permanent marker pen, that was always going to bleed through the paint, and I never really lost that. So I could go out the canvas and paint haphazardly and put thick brush marks down and let it drip, let it run, mess around with it, because that kind of initial first sketch would show through still. And then, it sort of became my process to then refine back with the pen and then mess around with the paint again. And so it's a very layered process. But yeah, I think it was all born really of that renovation with wallpaper samples and household paint, which is a really weird introduction back into the art world after going to fine art at university. But that was my way back in, and I love it.
Is that the pen that you use? Is that a choice, or is it just like it's like a stylistic choice, or is it just, I don't know, it's a way for you, an easier way for you to?
I guess it's, again, I am quite messy with the paint, so I'm not very good. I'm working on a lot of smaller canvases at the moment, and smaller canvases have never been my thing. I love big canvases. If it fits through the door, I'll paint on it. And I'm not particularly delicate in art or in life, really. And I just found that the marker pen was easier to control, to get that refined form back, that structure back that I needed.
I understand.
I've always loved working with line, and so for me it was kind of like a way of completely breaking up the paint with something that was a bit more delicate, and just refining it, I guess. But the marker pen for me was, it's not a tiny, thin, fiddly little brush. It's still quite chunky to hold. So I kind of work with
still have control of the tool, but you can still make like details and go into deep. Oh, okay, I understand.
Exactly. Yeah.
And is that why did you choose to incorporate the words into your paintings?
Well, that doesn't happen often. It tends to be more with commissions, I guess. I do quite a lot of commissions, so the words are often something that's almost meant to be hidden amongst a messy pen explosion. Einstein's hair, for example, is quite wild. You can easily hide some words in there. So it's often personal touches for that maybe the clients asked for. It's a nice way of personalised, for the customer. Sometimes it's just, if it's not been in a commission, I'm trying to think recently which ones had words in. Maybe it was the portrait artist sitter. He had a artwork on the wall behind him he had loads of framed pictures on the wall behind him. I don't tend to do background scenes, but sometimes something just stands out, and I quite like the contrast of that, and it's something for the viewer to question why that might be relevant to the sitter, I guess.
Oh, interesting.
It depends on the moment, who it is, if it's relevant or not, if I like it. I've always quite liked writing, so I guess it's a way of that sneaking back in a little bit.
And how do you choose the subject of the painting? Is a particular person that, I don't know, inspires you, or just a random picture, random person?
That's sometimes it's random, sometimes it's someone I know who will sell, because we have to make money at the end of the day, otherwise what are we doing? Sometimes it's someone who I know will go down well. Sometimes it is someone who I just feel moved to paint, depending on, usually if they've been doing something good in the world. I did a series, what year was it? I don't know, last year. This COVID year has thrown everything off. I think it's last year now. That I guess was, I'm quite into wanting to be the best version of myself for the environment and for the planet. And so when I see other people using their platform to speak out about it, or lead by example and show us how we can be better. I mean, David Attenborough is just the grandfather to the nation, and I feel like Greta Thunberg is kind of the grandchild of the nation now, and they have a lovely dynamic together, and so I painted both of them as part of the series. And yeah, sometimes it's just, I mean, I did Kamala Harris the other day because obviously.
Yeah, because because it was a good day. Because it was a
great day.
It was just a great day for everyone.
It was like we could all breathe again.
I know.
I don't know. It was just like every vote that I feel recently hasn't gone the way I wanted it to go. It was like this one made up for it.
Yeah. So,
yeah. I felt compelled. Actually, I wanted to paint her, but she wasn't the plan. And then I feel like I'm mentioning this too much, sorry, but the Portrait Artist of the Year, again, the sitter, she was also of Indian heritage, and she referenced how, I guess, how lovely it was for her to see someone like Kamala Harris be in that position now and have broken all of these records. And she was talking about how she'd seen Kamala Harris photographs when she was younger and stuff. It reminded her of when she was younger, pictures of her with her family. And I just thought, oh God, I'm going to have to do it now then, aren't I? I'm going to have to work on them both together. It's just quite instinctive sometimes how it comes about. And obviously, if you've got a spare canvas knocking about, that helps.
So did you manage to painting the both at the same time?
Yeah, I did because it was just, she was talking about it right at the beginning, and it's the day after the vote had come through, I think, or 2 days after the vote had come through. So it was quite fresh in my mind that I wanted to do her, and I just thought, well, they've both got Indian heritage there. This could be a really nice way of working on them both together, just to see how they both turn out, actually. So, but that's kind of normal practice for me, to be working on more than one thing at once. I find that helps. They kind of feed into each other. I don't know if you do that. Do you just work on one at a time?
I try to just because sometimes when I do painting, obviously because I work in oil. Is it oil that you use, or is it acrylic?
No, so it's household paint, so it's emulsion.
Okay, you're still using that kind of, okay, that's cool.
Yeah. No, that's what I was saying about the apartment renovation.
Yeah. No.
Of the paint. So, and I've kind of never really turned my back on it, because I just find it does what I want it to do, and I've been working with it for so long now that I can't imagine changing.
Yeah, if you like it, why you should change? I was saying that when I paint, I do paint in oil, and obviously oil take quite a long time to dry, especially if I work in layer, how I do. So I need, for example, at some point a layer to dry, and I might start something else. But I think I will jump into more drawings than actual starting another painting. I don't know. I think it will throw me off on the first painting if I do start on the other painting.
Yeah. No, I understand.
So
that.
I might start. I might start a drawing about something else to get start. Like another painting, but no, I don't. I try to stick with one and finish that one. When I'm good, I'll jump on it. It's actually why I do my last series that I'm doing right now. It's basically I called Incomplete Portrait, because as I used to paint, it's more. It has to be like a perfect portrait. It's how I all the art that I love, or like Caravaggio, all those kind of like really dramatic, really complex paintings. They're all like perfect. Like they don't have anything that's wrong with it, and that's how for a long time that's how I see painting should be, for me, obviously, for how I paint. And so I did start this during lockdown, actually. I try to push myself in a uncomfortable zone, where I'm not comfortable, and I try to stop at some point the painting, even if I know there is a lot of work to do. So I'm trying to push myself in that kind of sense.
That's great.
Yeah, so that's why I'm doing this series right now. It's I stick with one painting when I'm when I start one painting.
That's great though, that you've chosen to start working in this way now, like you say, challenging yourself and making yourself slightly more uncomfortable, because I do think we have to do that, don't we, as artists? We have to change things up and work out of our comfort zones. And I've been doing the same, I guess, with these small canvases. This is not my comfort zone. I like big brushes, I like big canvases, and to try and reduce how I work on a small scale, I've always just turned my back on it before, and you find that you learn so much that you hope is going to then feed back into your normal practice. So I'm sure this way of working for you now, whether it's just for this one exhibition or whether it becomes something you continue to do, is going to have brought so many new ideas, new ways of working to your mind, that it will feed back into your normal practice ultimately, which is, we forget sometimes, don't we, that we have to do that, but we do in order to push our work further.
Yeah, because when I see like paintings that are like not my style, let's say, I do really like it. It's just like something that it doesn't come for me. It's not comfortable for me to do it as like my practice. So that's why I decided, I was like, I need to try to push and see. And sometimes I literally just close my eye and throw paint on it, and wherever it goes, it goes. And it went literally like the last painting that I'm doing right now. It's quite big, and I throw paint on it, and it went onto the drawing, and especially like on the area of the drawing that I really liked. How did it come out? And I was like, oh, it just killed me inside. But I was like, oh, that's fine. That's why I'm doing this. It's okay.
Yeah. Oh, bless you. Imagine. It's a nightmare when that happens, isn't it? There's just one moment and you're just like, it's almost like when you overwork the canvas as well. Like, why did I do that? Why didn't I stop an hour ago?
Yeah, it's true.
It's so frustrating, but yeah, I love that spontaneous way of working, and I think that's probably why I do work on more at once, especially when I used to have a bigger studio where I had stuff on the walls. They all used to, they like one would drip onto the one below, and I was fine with that. I kind of liked things happening in the moment, and how playful paint is, it just, for me anyway, it just gets everywhere. And I kind of was okay with all these happy accidents happening, not mistakes, they're just moments that, okay, maybe that wasn't meant to happen, but how can I turn it into something I like? And you can either cover it up and get rid of it, or try and, sometimes when I really like them and they happen early on, I'm like, oh god, I've got to try and preserve this now till the end of the painting. Oh god. Why? But it's all good fun. It is. It's always good practice in general. Just do something like every day. Just paint. Just do something. What I wanted to talk about as well about your practice, it's the colors. They're literally like so colorful. They're so I don't know. They're so nice and bright and so good. It just obviously something that I feel like you really care about, and if you want to talk about a little bit about that. Yeah, I mean, I am obsessed with color. I think in my artwork, I'm probably more of a beige person in real life, but in my artwork, seriously, like everything in my house, all my clothes are all like neutral toned, like very plain, very simple. For some reason that didn't spill over into my artwork. I'm just making up for it fully on the art side of things. I love color, and I love I mean, I guess when I start a painting, I need a mid-tone, a dark, and a light. That's pretty much me done. And I don't tend to plan, unless it's a commission and they want certain colours in the canvas. I don't tend to over-plan. Sorry. So I obviously, if I've based the canvas, I tend to either go for dark blues or purples, or I go for like a bright orange or something, and then I'll try and pick the next 3 tones to contrast with that, and then after that it's just kind of playtime, and is this working tonally? I'll try and, I mean, I think the good thing with emulsion paints, even though they are a bit controversial for the art world, they mix lovely, and you can really make some nice tones in them. And not so much in Switzerland yet, but in the UK anyway. I used to be able to go to B&Q, for example. Are we allowed to say names of places on this podcast?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Yeah.
I used to go to the B&Q counter where they would mix paint. And, you know, if I'd got a commission where someone had specific colours in their living room that they wanted in the painting, as long as they sent me samples over, I could literally have that paint made up. So it was kind of quite, I don't know, it was helpful from a business side of things, having such a wide range of colours, but I've just always had so many different pots of paint in the studio. And I use, this is not technical at all, but I use the lids as mini mixing palettes. It's almost like, okay, that lid hasn't got too much paint on it yet, I'll use that one now, I'll use that colour paint, and that's just like the worst art chat. Oh, sorry, that's the worst art chat ever, isn't it? But that's, I guess, sometimes what it is. Like,
yeah,
okay,
no,
it's free.
if
free right now.
If that's you, why you should stop, to be honest. And if it works well, it's all good.
Exactly. And you only need to take a touch of another paint that you've got in the picture already to blend in with it, and all of a sudden you have a tone that matches. So yeah, I just like experimenting and playing. Occasionally, if I'm more nervous, say I've got an exhibition coming up or something and I don't want to ruin it, I might photograph it, drop it into one of the apps on the tablet. I don't have Procreate, but something similar, and have a little play with colours on there just to see what I think's working, and then I'll apply it in real life. But yeah, they're really, they're matte for a start, so you can view the painting from any angle, and they're kind of almost chalky in real life, but still very vibrant, still very pigmented, and I like to use complementary colours so they do sort of vibrate against each other, which I think helps with that vibrance. So yeah, I love colour.
I was going to say, because it looks like, I don't know if it comes to you like naturally now because you've been doing this for a long time, but it looks like it's planned, like all the colors that you use.
No.
They work no, just because they work really well together, and it's I guess it's just like it comes to you just because you can pick now the right color without even thinking about it, to be honest.
Maybe it's I do think I am quite instinctive, actually. I think that's fair. I don't think I'm very articulate in discussing my practice, which is not great for your podcast.
No, that's fine. It's literally like it's such a formal art podcast, to be honest. Like I don't want to get, if somebody wants to get really technical and stuff, like it's great.
You'll go there.
Yeah, if it's not, I'm fine with it. I'm just having a chat with an artist.
Yeah, exactly. I'll probably think of some great answers after we've finished. Like, oh, no, can I change my answer?
And then I edit it back inside.
Yeah. Just dub my voice for me. You've got this.
No, I was just curious because, as I said, they look. It looks like it's been planned before, and they work really well together. And I was just curious if you did any sort of like color studying, any sort of like, because you said you did university.
Yeah.
Does it come to play any of your studies before, or is it just like an instinctive natural thing that you have?
I think My foundation year I did in Blackpool, and so that was straight after doing my A-level, and it was a year basically you had to do if you wanted to go and do fine art at university, and that year was fantastic. I would do that again tomorrow. You got to try anything and everything. We did trials with printmaking, we even did some textiles, we did sculptural work. We basically went in every day, and the tutors were just like, okay, today we're going to do 20 charcoal drawings, and then the next day you'd be doing one painting the whole day, and sometimes you'd take a week, or it was just such a playful time. And I think when I went to university, it was kind of like, okay, here's your wall space, go, you're an artist. And I wasn't quite done playing. I hadn't found who I was yet as an artist. I'd not experimented in art. And I think that's why I kind of fell into the trap of, okay, the tutors just picked up on that, so I'm going to do more of that. And they've just complemented this, so I'm going to do more of that. And I just ended up going down a route that really didn't interest me. And it's a shame. I wish I'd tried harder at university, really. I had a blast. I had made some great friends, but I wish I had done art history instead, or something that studied more the technical side, because I felt like I wasn't proactive enough to just almost be an abandoned artist now in a studio. Like, I needed more guidance. I needed more help to find who I wanted to be. But then I guess not, because I've sort of stumbled into it anyway. So I don't know. I mean, I'm sure it was a while ago now, so I'm sure there were the odd lecture on colour theory. I do find it interesting, but I also do think now, like we've said, it's just an instinct for me. There are certain colours that I love that just happen to sneak into every painting because I can't help but use them. And I do still go through phases. So sometimes, I mean, I'm working on one at the moment that the customer has required it to all be quite dark and smoky looking. And I don't do that many dark paintings. It's still, I'm looking at it now and it's covered in like bright green and bright orange. But in theory,
it's not that bright.
A dark smoky painting. So yeah, I'll go through phases of trying different things out. I mean, I went through a whole period where I didn't used to paint the background out, so you still had the grid showing behind. And I do still quite like that slow reveal, almost a bit like you were saying about your unfinished portraits. I've seen them. You can still see elements of the sketch, and then it starts to build up in certain places. I like that. I like that you can see, if you're looking for it, I like that you can see the journey of the painting building up in the final.
I think it's one of the,
you can see that first stage.
I think it's one of the thing that I really enjoy about this series is the fact that you can see the under drawings, the under layer paintings and stuff like that. So I think that's that will keep, like, it's keeping me to like keep doing it. But
definitely. Especially, I mean, as a lover of art myself, I love it when I can see that in other people's work. I love seeing the stages, because it's almost like you got to be a part of the work being made. It's like you got to watch it in all of its transformation phases. So I like that. I like that a lot. I really like your new stuff. I really like them. They look really inviting to me, especially the colours as well. Like, you've got great colours too.
Thank you.
Colours and unfinished paintings, I'm there.
as long as it's a messy painting, you go with it.
This is the thing. You can, if you work with two. So I was listening to someone talk about children painting and how children don't tend to observe what they're painting. They just, they draw it how they think it should be. And I was listening to that and I was going, oh my God, I think that's what I do. And I've never realised. But I think when I paint, I'm not looking at my reference photo. I just apply it where I think it should be. And then when I pick up the pen, that's when I'm observing, that's when I'm correcting, that's when I'm trying to bring it back. And I think I find that quite interesting, because children are great artists because they're so free, aren't they?
It's true. I completely agree.
They've not been given humility yet, or I don't know. They just do what they want to do, and they love it. And I think as we get older, we start to get more self-conscious.
Yeah,
they don't. You know, I'll do it. I won't upload stuff on Instagram if I'm not happy with it, or I will, but I'll explain why I'm not happy with it. So you can't criticize me because I know this and this and this and this is wrong. You know, and again, with these smaller canvases I'm doing, I've kind of got that comfort blanket of being able to say, okay, this isn't me, this isn't my normal, this isn't my comfort zone, so don't judge it too harshly, because you know, it's not my normal thing, but I'm going to upload it anyway because I've learned things from it. And yeah, it just dawned on me that I might be, half of my brain might be painting like a child, and then the adult part kicks in and tries to correct all the messy mistakes that the child made.
It makes sense.
No.
It makes sense.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. They just don't care. They just don't care on what we are gonna think of their drawings, and I think that's literally like if you can do that on your heart as an artist, it's the best way to go.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it was really not as similar, but studying experience that we had. So I did as well the college foundation here, and it was an amazing experience. It was an amazing, literally like one of the best year that I had.
They're great, aren't they?
Just because I was completely in a like, let's say, dark period of what I wanted to do. And I was really confused. I didn't know what to do, and I always loved to do be an artist, but I never really had the let's say the gut to just do it. And so I was working full time. I was doing the course full time. Everything was like, I didn't have a day off, and it was just like a mental year. But it was a great year, because I literally, like, that was the start of me deciding, okay, I want to do this like forever and full time, and I just don't care what's gonna happen. I just want to do this full time, and that's what makes me happy, and why should I not? And
exactly.
So, and then I went to uni. I did 3 years of uni, studying drawing and printing, and I specialized in drawing and painting. And obviously it's the same kind of thing that they expecting you to be already an artist, and there was a lot of like studying of techniques and how to do stuff and stuff like that for the first year especially. But from the second year and the third year, it was more like, okay, you know stuff now, and you need you're an artist, you do your stuff. And because I went there when I was a bit older already, I was like 26, and so I think they kind of expect a little bit to, like, a bit, not too much, but more from like a 20 or 18 years old that it goes to uni, and which is fine. And I was into it so much. I was there. I was painting and drawing and try to do all my assessment as much as I could. But the guidelines, they were really vague. They were really I think it's a good thing till to the point that you need to explain to me what am I doing wrong or not, because it's good that you leave like freedom to people, to your students, to do whatever they want, but a bit of guidance when you're like introduced to this world, and try to do your best, but obviously like you don't know. I think it's a good thing if you can manage to push to the right direction people. But and then when I finished uni, I was literally like, okay, and now what are we doing?
This is it. I mean, did yours have any sort of business built into it at all?
Yes, it was a really small part of the last year, but
Okay.
They did kind of try to, but they didn't. I don't wanna because I had such amazing time at university. I don't wanna be like,
Yeah.
oh no, it wasn't good. But
No, I
obviously,
understand, yeah.
I think they don't wanna. They cannot prepare you 100% for what you have to do next, because obviously it's up to you. And
Yeah.
I was already trying to push my artwork outside uni, even during university. But at the same time, I didn't like. You don't know if you're doing the right thing or not. So
Yeah.
probably the best thing you can do and ask and try to talk to them as much you can. But
Yeah.
at the same time, depends on you really. And
Exactly.
hopefully you do the right things and you do the right moves. And but if it's not, it's just gonna take longer for you to make it. But
Yeah, I heard one of your other podcasts where you were discussing it and saying you wish more people were encouraged to go and travel for a bit before university or do a gap year somewhere.
I really
And
believe,
I completely agree. It's a little bit like when you're in school and you're asked to decide which subjects you're going to specialise in at like 16.
Yeah, and you're
How
like,
do I know? I'm 16.
exactly.
I don't know what's good for me.
Exactly. I really, if one day I'm gonna have a kid, hopefully, if you never know.
Yeah, they're not going to university when they
I will literally try to push them to do more, like even just work or experience a little bit like outside, and try to decide what you want from your life, whatever it is. And I think it's the best thing before you start a journey. It's more like I see it as a waste of time. It's a waste of money. It's just like, it's not productive at all, wasting 3 years of your life. Then you can spend of build your person, who you are really. And instead of like being in a course that you don't really want to, and you don't really want to, like it's not. Yes, you just do it because
the motivation isn't there, so you're half-assing everything. And I'm so guilty of that, and I kick myself frequently because I don't, like you've just said, I don't want to badmouth the course in a way, because like you say, it depends on you and your character. You can get the most out of it, or you can get the minimal out of it. And I definitely went the minimal route for certainly the first year, probably the second. Third year I kicked in, and I'm not proud of that. I got a lot out of the third year, but I think I got a lot more people skills. And me and my best mate, we started to run all the fundraising for the final year degree show. So we learned loads doing that. I mean, we did all sorts of stuff, which I still reference now. It's still so prevalent in my mind, that time. And I almost wish, I don't want to blame the course, it's on me, but I wish there'd been more of an encouraging, a lot more collaborations, a lot more exhibitions, approaching art galleries, approaching businesses that maybe you've mentioned your exhibition at the moment is in a restaurant. I do a lot of work with restaurants that sell work for me, because they're great premises for artwork. People are going in.
Yeah, it's even like easy.
They get
like,
nice decor.
Yeah.
You might sell your work. Like, there's so many benefits. Yeah, I think we're sort of more familiar with the art gallery route, but art galleries take huge commissions.
Like the classic.
And you have to have your work framed for art galleries, and there's so many things that I think I have learned from doing this, and just trial and error. And I wish that was built into the course at university, because these are real skills that you need when you leave. Like you say, you left and it's like, what now? Like, you need to have built up things. I think maybe part of the problem when you go and do art at university is you don't always imagine that you're going to graduate and then become an artist. Maybe sometimes you're taking it because you're going to apply it to becoming a teacher or many other careers, but maybe you're taking it as like, well, I've got my degree now, what can I do with it, rather than thinking I'm going to be an artist. Maybe that's the underneath it, or maybe that's the issue.
To be honest, my course was really oriented out on be and professional artists. That's what
Great.
the ed tutor always said, and it was like, if any route you want to take, it's great, but this course is for if you want to be a professional artist. Like, that was the mentality out of it, and I think I think that's what I needed. That's what I actually needed, but at the same time, it was really vague. Like, what does it really mean? Like, if there was a really more guidance behind the whole be a professional artist, I think it was better. But I think
some business skills would be great, or
exactly,
just like writing emails, doing your taxes. Doing your taxes would have been a really helpful segment. Then no fun.
I agree.
Things like that maybe, but
fair enough. Let's say last question. I don't want to keep you too long. What is the motivation? What keeps you motivated? Because it's really hard, especially now. You feel like you have all the time. You can do so much work in such a small amount of time, and then you get burnout. Or you can be like, oh, I can do tomorrow. Oh, I can do tomorrow. You never do it. So what does it keep you motivated to paint and keep doing it?
Ooh, good question. Let me think. I think that seeing other artists being productive and creating amazing work that inspires me motivates me, because I think, what are you doing? Go and get on with something, get busy, make something that you've felt from seeing that work. So obviously we can't go to galleries right now, but social media brings that world to our sofas. So I think when I see other artists like absolutely just destroying, I'm like, oh gosh, that's amazing, I want to do that. So I think I probably get a big chunk of motivation from others. My influence with ideas often changes, but usually still orientated around humans and human faces. And I watch a lot of films, and sometimes you're just watching a film and you just see obviously the lighting is so perfect in these movies. Sometimes people are just so nicely lit. There's like a scene and you're like, oh God,
you want to take a
so good.
Oh, it happens to me all the time. I just want to take a shot. I want to take a picture of it. And
you do, don't you? Even on the street when you see someone,
yes,
I'm not bold enough to
you
be
just
like,
you just
hey,
see difference.
You have a great face, can I just photograph you there? Like, I need to get, maybe this is a bit creepy, but I need to get a better camera with like a really good zoom. maybe that's probably violating a few
but it's fine.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds odd as well to say, but like wrinkles, people with wrinkles and character in their face, it's not the most flattering thing to approach someone and say, but sometimes there's just character that I just know with my style I can capture. Young, beautiful women are not my thing. They're too perfect. It's too smooth. There's nothing I can anchor onto on their face. So, I like old, craggy people, which I shouldn't say because I've just painted my mum. But
I love it.
I did say to her, she's not old and craggy. She's beautiful. She's got great feet. She's beautiful, Mum, if she listens to this. I said to her, I want to paint real people. I want to paint, because I'm doing this 100. So Flo that you spoke to, she's just an absolute machine. Flo, oh my God, she inspires me. She motivates me. She was doing this 100 heads challenge, and I was like, I'm always balancing trying to find time to work on my own practice and get commissions made. It's always a constant struggle, and of course commissions always win out because it's money at the end of the day and you've got clients waiting on you. So I used to really struggle actually making my own work, and I think since moving and having a bit of time off, it sort of slowed the pace for me a little bit and allowed for a bit more time for me to play and experiment, especially downsizing with the smaller canvases. It's not as easy to just throw money at large canvases and do whatever you want in case it fails. So working on this smaller scale has given me a bit more freedom to play. And so I've started doing this 100 heads challenge, and I asked my mom to be the first one. I dressed her up in all sorts of stuff. And I just wanted to paint something dramatic, but something real, and something that someone with features, someone with substance, you know, that you can grab onto. So I want to go with this 100 heads thing and see where it takes me, because there's no rules, you've just got to do 100. And I spoke with Flo a bit about it. I was like, I've got this idea and blah blah blah, and she was like, yeah, I had ideas too, but it changes, and like just let the process happen. It'll see where it goes. And so I'm trying not to overplan it too much, but I think movies are almost like theatre. I mean, my mum was an actor, so we were quite involved with acting as a family from being really young. We were me and my sister used to play around in the dressing rooms and try on all sorts of costumes, and so I've got this actually I did this a little bit at university as well. I studied her for a small period with a lot of her like photographs that were taken during the time of rehearsing, and I think I've got a real thing about the dramatics and over the top. I guess I go a bit over the top with my colour and my pen lines, so I kind of want to include dramatic, a bit of drama into the painting. So I think that's where this 100 heads is maybe heading. It started off with one idea, and I feel like it's starting to ebb maybe towards a bit more theatrical, but I'm quite excited about that. So we'll just see where it goes. So yeah, I think did I answer your
you did, yeah.
I told you I shouldn't have had the coffee.
I'm
gonna have like a really calming cup of chamomile tea after this.
Just try to relax for the rest of the day. Anyway,
what about you? Because you paint faces too. What motivates you? Are you a bit
I
same
do
with movie stills?
So basically, it's really simple. It's basically I do work in series. I started working series a few years ago, and I think that keeps me on the subject without going other roads, and like it will keep me stuck to the subject, and I can really open up the whole, like any sort of what I can do with it. So I do love telling a story about people or a group of people. For example, one of my biggest it's been going on for a couple of years now. It's about immigrants. So I mean, because obviously I am one of them, and I know so many of them, and most of them are my friends. I start interviewing them, so about their experience, how it was to be an immigrant, and using that talk, the interview, I used those kind of emotion for doing like drawings, and I went a bit bigger than what I usually do, and I used charcoal, and as you said, dramatic scene. It's my jam. I love like big light and dark contrast. It's I think it's if you can transmit, if you can put that on paper or on a canvas, it's great. I do charcoal. I did charcoal drawing for this series, and basically telling a story. So that's what until I know that's what I want to say, that it will keep me motivated to carry on that series. This last one that I'm doing, the incomplete portrait, it's more for me. So it's more for like my practice journey, and try to explore different things that I can do and I can learn. So it's always like, and to be honest, I don't know what else I can do for the whole day. I would love, I would love to have something else to do, but I just love it, and I know I can do this every day, and I've tried to do it every day. Obviously sometimes you want a little break, but
no, it's so all consuming, isn't it? It's so difficult to walk away from.
Yeah, exactly. And you just wanna be there on that paper or canvas for the rest of the day, and not doing nothing else. But obviously, like, you need to eat, so you need to you need to stop at some point, and
just sometimes, you know?
So it's
I agree.
And I don't know, it's just I don't know what else I could do if it wasn't for this. To be honest, that's what keep me motivated. It's because that's what I love.
I have this total fear now. Like, what if I stop getting commissions and I'm unable to sell anything myself? Like, how will I do an interview for a real job? I'm saying that with inverted commas. I know you can't see them, but it's terrifying, because I just feel like, you know, you do this and it's become such a part of you that everything else fades away, and then how do I put myself back into the real world to try and function and do a job that I just wouldn't have this same feeling about? I know I wouldn't. It's a meditative state, I think.
And then you will have to treat you will have to treat your art as an hobby, and you don't want to do that, because it's not just a hobby. It's literally your passion and what you want to do for the day. But it's it's a bit tricky when you start thinking that.
I think we'll be okay, because what's been another highlight of lockdown has proved that the arts are going nowhere. I know theatres are closed across the country. I know films aren't being able to be released. I know musicians aren't able to perform at the moment in the same way, but people are craving that, aren't they? They are absolutely dying out to go and see art, experience art, be around artists again.
It is.
So
it's true.
It's reassuring that I think, our industry isn't going to go anywhere. It's just
I said on this podcast so many times, but I'm gonna repeat it again, because I think it's so important that we I had so many people come in to me, or even like DM me, or just talk to me, and they said, oh, it was a kind of gloomy day, it was a bit down, and then I saw your painting, or I was listening, could be even like listening to a music, so anything artistic, it will change your mood. And in this particular period of time, being an artist is so important, I think, for people to have like this sort of like just breathe your mind. It's getting it's just I think it's so important for people to have.
It's true. Look at the start of lockdown. I don't know if you had problems getting hold of art materials, but because mine aren't typical art materials, I needed like hardware store paint. Everyone was redecorating their house, so when lockdown happened, first of all the businesses closed, so I could only order online. Online deliveries were taking forever, so I couldn't get hold of what I needed to make work. And even now, canvases are like gold dust right now. I don't know if you're experiencing this, but they are impossible to find. My friend the other day apparently got the last 24-inch square canvas in the UK. She uploaded it onto her Instagram. They are like disappearing. I don't know why there's a canvas shortage, whether it's a delivery thing or whether it's materials.
I think just artists like had so much time now. They're just doing a lot of things, and they're losing more material.
Aren't artists, which is great.
It's true.
With materials being difficult to get hold of, if it means that more people are being creative, even if it's your job, like people are really discovering how therapeutic.
I had my girlfriend during lockdown, just picked painting and just start painting just for the sake of it, and I was like, "Oh, what are you doing?" I was like, "Oh, just
wait, back off. This is my career."
That's my area. You're a finance genius. Like, do your thing. And it's true. Just like even normal people, I've like few friends of mine just send me picture and were like, oh, I've done this during lockdown, and I was like, oh, that's cool. Even if you never did anything before, but you had the time first of all to think of that, and you just do it, because it's so relaxing, so good for you, and just but
definitely.
Anyway, Laura, it's been lovely talking to you. You're amazing. Thank you very much to be part of the podcast.
And you, I'm so flattered and grateful that you wanted to talk to me, and I'm sorry if it was a load of waffle. Good luck editing it.
No, are you joking? It was amazing, and again, thank you very much to be the part of the podcast. Hopefully one day we can see each other properly and maybe
in real life.
Yeah, in real life, exactly, and maybe
What is that?
have an exhibition together. You never know.
Oh my goodness. Crazy talk.
I know in this
absolutely. Let's hope, hey? Let's hope.
Oh, you're lovely. Thank you very much. You take care. Have a lovely day.
Thank you, Matteo.
Thank you.
And you.
And that was Laura for us. And Laura, thank you very much to at the time to talk to me and to talk about your practice with us. And it was really interesting, lovely chat. Guys, obviously don't forget to subscribe, support the channel, please. It's really important that you subscribe, that you click the button. It's such a small thing for you to do that it means for me quite a lot, because if we grow, we can invite more artists. People are more willing to talk to me, and it's just a win-win for everyone. And so please subscribe, share the link, share the podcast with everyone that you know that might be interested in, and don't forget to follow Laura. I will put the link of her Instagram in the description, and she has a lovely Instagram page. Her work is literally amazing. You need to support every single artist. It's really important. So just a little follow, a little click in the button, and it's been great. It's been a great talk. So thank you very much, Laura, again. Thank you very much for listening, guys. From the Artful Podcast, I'm out.